Now in this lesson we're going to talk about how to input and modify text inside Photoshop, and it's really quite simple. You just simply go right into the toolbar and go right down here toward the bottom, and you see the little T, and that represents our text tool. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that, and I'm going to go right inside my document, and if you notice over here in the Layers panel, we've simply just got the background layer. But it's still going to let me go ahead and click and set some text in here. So once I do that, you notice what happened in the Layers panel. It has gone ahead and created a brand new layer. But it looks a little differently than a regular layer. It's actually a text layer, meaning it's going to contain editable text. And we'll get into that, into the layers in just a moment. But you see my cursor here, so I'm going to go ahead and set some text. So let's go ahead and type, "This is text in Photoshop." Now, you'll notice that it is a black, the fill color is set to black, and that's because of this foreground color swatch is at the default setting of black. And it's going to go ahead and take its cues from that and fill the text with that. But if you want to change that, it's simply a matter of at the end of this text, you can simply click and drag to highlight the text. And then right up here in the options bar, there are a number of text options, but you've got the color swatch right here. And if I click on that, it pulls up that color picker, as you remember from the other lesson. And I'm just going to take this circle and just drag it up to the white area and then click OK. And it's just click off to the side to deselect that text. And there you can see that our text is now white. Well, now if I want to reposition the text, I can simply just go here and grab the Move tool, and I can just reposition it anywhere I like. All the while it is remaining editable text. I'm just going to position it right up here. And if I want to re-highlight the text to make any further changes, you can do just as you did a minute ago, select the text tool and highlight it. Or one quick and easy way is to double-click right on that text layer icon, and it goes ahead and selects all that text for you. So let's look at the options up here that we have for this text. Well, the first icon here can quickly switch your text from a horizontal layout to a vertical layout, as you can see right there. So you can quickly toggle back and forth between that. The next item is your text style or your font that you select. So you can just click on that and scroll through the menu and select whatever type of text you want to set. And another quick and easy way, if you're not sure of what type of text, if you just double click into this window and highlight that name, you can use your up and down arrow keys to toggle through your entire list of fonts and get a preview of what your text might look like. So a quick and easy way of being able to toggle through that text real quickly and give you a quick preview. The next item can set your italics or your bolds depending on what type of font you've selected. So if we go up here and grab this Adobe Garamond Pro, we can certainly choose the bold italic if we like, right inside that window. And the next item here is the size, and you can click in here and choose from the preset menu a specific size, or you can input a specific size yourself. Let's say I want to set it to 100 and press enter. Of course, you need to have the text highlighted and selected, and it will go ahead and resize the text there. Now, I'm going to bring that back to 25. Now, you also have the option of this scrubby sliders, as I mentioned in an earlier lesson. If I drag my mouse over that text icon, you can see that I've got the left and right arrows, and you can drag up and down to resize the text in real time there. Very, very useful feature there. Next item here is the sharpness or the anti-aliasing, and you can choose how your text is displayed. And the default is, of course, the sharp, and you can choose various other ones depending on what your preferences would be. And the other one is the text justification. You can have the center, left, or right. So simply clicking on these icons will set those accordingly. Here's the color icon, as you saw just a moment ago. Now this item right here with the T and the little bent bar there means that you can actually apply some warping to this text. So if I click on that and apply it, you get this warp text menu, and if you choose from the various types of effects you can apply, you can change the orientation of the text. Now the beauty of this, let's say I go ahead and do this flag one, and you take the slider and you can modify it or increase it or decrease the settings. When I click OK, even though we've changed the look of the text, it's still editable, as you notice. It's still highlighted, and I can change it. So we can put Corey's text effect. Notice it's maintaining that warping that we've applied to it. Let's go ahead and put that back in there. So it's maintaining that warping that we applied even as we are typing it. So let's go in here, and I'm going to go ahead and undo and set this to none. And we'll go ahead and OK out of that. So that's warping the text. Now, if you want to get in and be able to modify the text in a more specific way, as if you were in a page layout program, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to actually go into my web browser and go to Lorem Ipsum and show you how you can work with a paragraph of text. So I'm just going to take my cursor and select this paragraph here. copy it to my clipboard. Let's go under Edit, go to Copy. Go ahead and minimize that. Now, to input the text into a text box inside Photoshop, you just simply grab the text tool, and instead of clicking in the document to set a text point, drag out a box. Just click and drag out as if you were drawing a selection. You notice the cursor is flashing in that corner there. I'm going to press Command or Control V, or simply go into the Edit menu and choose Paste, and you can see it's gone ahead and set that text. Now, I did select a tremendous amount of text, and it's obviously going outside the boundaries of my document, as indicated by this little cross right here at the bottom corner. I'm just going to double click, or actually triple click a couple times, and it will select the entire paragraph, and we'll go in here and make that text smaller by dragging this scrubby slider down. So now we got that paragraph of text inside there. Well, if I want to be able to modify the text considerably more, you click this little icon right here, and this is going to bring up your character and paragraph properties to give you much more control over the text. Here you can modify the size, of course, change your font and the italics and everything like that. But you can also control the various other settings like your leading between the lines. If I want to increase or decrease the space between the lines, I can certainly do that with the scrubby slider, or input a specific number. You can set the spacing between letters, between multiple letters here, but if you select and just put the cursor in between two letters, you can modify the spacing in between those. Notice if I drag up, that space increases. Dragging down decreases the space. Now, there are various settings here. If I wanted to make this first letter much bigger, I can certainly go in here and make that vertical spacing, the vertical size, much, much larger. As you can see, that letter is getting much bigger. I can also increase its width as well, just by dragging this slider out. You can see that text is getting bigger. And you can also set the baseline shift. If I wanted to drop this down, you can see it's going beneath the baseline. By dragging it upward into a positive number, we'll take it above the baseline. So being able to modify that text is very important. And of course, here's the color swatch, which allows you to modify the color swatching, or the color of the text itself, by bringing up the color picker. Now, down here at the bottom, you can set your text. In fact, let's go in here and change this. Let's set this back to regular. If you had a font that didn't necessarily have an italic, you can set it to be a faux italic right here, just by clicking on that icon there. And that brings it back to normal there. You got various caps settings and other underlining and line through options here. And down here you've got your paragraph options, where you can set the justification, whether you want it to be center text, right justified, left justified, all these various types of settings. Simply clicking on them will modify the text accordingly. And you also have your indent features down here. You've got your left indent of the paragraph. Notice when I scrub over and the number increases, the indentation on the left side here is increasing. Same thing with over here. You can increase the indentation on the right side. This item here will set the indentation on the top line. Notice when I scrub through there, only that top line is being affected, giving me an indent for a paragraph or something like that. This item right here, if you increase the number here, it'll add a little bit of space before the paragraph. This item will add space beneath the paragraph. And you can also check on and check off your hyphenating features in here. So there's a tremendous amount of power over using text inside here. Before, in earlier versions of Photoshop, you would have had to go through a lot of hoops to make this text work. But over the years, they've implemented a lot of really nice text features to make text more manageable. Being able to work with text all in one application makes your work much, much easier. So there's the basic text features inside Photoshop. Now in the next lesson, we're going to talk about a very cool aspect of Photoshop, and that's using the brushes and the brush engine inside Photoshop.